We've gotten involved in a lot of PV-related shenanigans, a lot of activity up and about the place, but I haven't yet had the pleasure of doing anything active in my own home turf. You know, there's a Seattle mayoral primary coming up. For more on that, let's bring on some PV brain trust fellas.
You might have heard already how there's something going on here in Vosh's own backyard here in Seattle. Riding along the coattails of a lot of other like-minded candidates, such as Mamdani, such as Deja Fox, such as Baraka that we did in Jersey. We over here at Progressive Victory are endorsing yet another candidate and are getting involved in yet another primary. We are getting involved in the Seattle mayoral race, both the primary and the general election, and are supporting and endorsing Katie Wilson for Seattle mayor, another fellow like-minded progressive, and she is so incredibly based, running against current incumbent Bruce Harrell, who is less based to a very, very large degree.
Just a bit.
Just a bit is a bit of a stretch there. Yeah. Evil man. A lot of you, this might be your first time hearing about Katie Wilson. So Katie Wilson is first and foremost, she's a socialist. Scary. No, but seriously, she is incredibly based. She is pushing to open, I think in her first year in office, 4,000 units of socialized housing.
1,000 her first year, and then 4 across her term.
Oh, there you go.
She has been pushing for the abundance line quite a bit, is my understanding. You know, that open line between you can subsidize affordable housing, but also push for more private investment, make sure that there's actually an incentive for people to build housing. The regulatory infrastructure right now in Seattle is a nightmare. I know about it mostly in the context of expanding the existing Seattle light rail lines, but my understanding is that building pretty much anything here is a nightmare, which is funny because in spite of that, we actually are one of the cities that's building some of the most new housing, like, you know, per capita across the United States. New high rises, you know, a couple thousand new residences opening up every year. It's because the frustration from my perspective, if you will, is that Seattle is a preposterously Democrat city. It's very queer. It's full of lefties. It's relatively young, at least in its, you know, working core. It's very, very, very progressive. And in spite of that, the mayor is and has been a shitheel, you know? It's the mayor is not woke. There's a disconnect, and it's not like New York where you have these moderating influences. New York per capita is not as left-leaning as Seattle or New York City. And in addition, New York City has Wall Street. It has a bunch of like really invested financial interests, and Wall Street fucks tend to be, you know, money interested, not necessarily you know, right-wing, like holistically, socially, but at the very least, they're the types that would prefer a Cuomo to a Mamdani. In Seattle, the big monetary influence is tech. But tech, by and large, as much money as there is in the system, is a progressive industry. The majority of tech workers vote Democrat. So the fact that in spite of all of these like woke-aligned influences, we have a shitheel for a mayor, it's confounding.
Yeah, I mean, well, Amazon has like supported Bruce Harrell and a lot of the things he supported in the past, and they've tried to like separate themselves from it because it's a really bad look to be getting your like campaign bankrolled by Amazon and Jeff Bezos. He's still funded by big businesses though, and like wealthy people, because they've raised very similar amounts of money, but Bruce Harrell has gotten way more in individual donations, and Seattle actually has this program of democracy vouchers where each resident gets 4 $25 vouchers to donate to any candidate that they want in Seattle for completely free. Katie Wilson has gotten pretty much like over 75%, like almost 7/8 of her contributions from democracy vouchers, whereas Harrell has like gotten like a little over half by democracy vouchers, and the rest was individual donations.
Nice.
So he's just bankrolled by fewer, wealthier people, and Katie Wilson is bankrolled by, you know, the actual populace of.
Yeah, we were
crazy.
Looking at a story the other day about how when he was on vacation, and what was it, Maui or something, he was getting direct text from a wealthy neighbor who was also a philanthropist donor. Just it's that kind of guy, you know?
Yeah. He also loves to point guns at pregnant women, and he is being accused by his literal own niece for apparent sexual harassment towards like woman staffers. So like just really not woke, evil guy all around, and we got to get him out of there.
Not even to
Yeah.
speak of his friendly relationship with the Seattle Police Department, which of course per capita sent the most people over to January 6th. Real shitheels ran over that student over at Washington University like a year and a half back. Laughed about it.
Mhm. Yeah, and the genocidal homelessness policy, like it really is just, it's just insane that he even calls himself well, I say it's insane that he calls himself a Democrat, but
He even sometimes refers to himself as like kind of a progressive even too, which is insane. And like, yeah, the Seattle Police Department, the only things they ever do is like show up to protests to harass protesters or like sweep homeless encampments, and they don't like actually respond to crimes really at all. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I noticed that myself. I mean, everyone's complaining. Everyone always complains. International District, downtown, Pioneer Square, always something going on. Cops always have enough manpower to do something about the homeless people on 5th Street. Never seem to actually be there when anything bad happens. Yeah, typical cop stuff, but Seattle PD are pretty bad. Not quite NYPD or LAPD bad, though I'd say there's a unique character to how disproportionately conservative Seattle police are relative to the environments they police.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think a significant portion of Seattle police are just like from the rural areas an hour away, like in the middle of bumfucking nowhere.
Yeah, Hitlerville.
They just come in.
You go out of Seattle, you go out of King County, you're in Hitlerville. Yeah.
Enumclaw or whatever.
No, I'm very excited to participate in her primary. So to the folks who don't know anything about anything, it's a jungle primary coming up on August 5th. That's just 5 days from now. And a jungle primary, it's open, you know. Top two in the primary get to face off in the general. Top two are going to be the incumbent and Katie Wilson. You know, that's guaranteed. So the question is, how much momentum do you go into the general with? Does she win the primary and then look good, come out on top, go into the general looking strong? Or is it a close win, a close loss? Or does she do worse? You know, it all matters. We're looking for as good a performance as possible so she can come into the November election with momentum.
Yeah, and the polling right now is extremely close. So she has led the polls by like 3 points in a poll just in July and also in May, but that's completely within like the statistical error of those polls. So it is like razor thin margins right now.
We got to help her out. You want to get some people phone banking for her?
Yeah, you know, if you want to know how to help out, something that's really cool that we're doing is, of course, we're following the standard. We're making phone banks every day, so sign up to the Discord server. But I know that for Vosh viewers, I know you guys. That's not enough to entice you into our awesome little Discord community that we have here. Sign up at progress.win/Seattle. But we are holding numerous events inside of our Discord server. On the 3rd, we are going to be having a Katie Wilson interview hosted by Vosh in the main stage of our Discord server. So again, this is the August 3rd. I think this is this upcoming Sunday. So for those of you who a phone bank is not enough to entice you, here you go. You join our Discord server, you get more content. And then immediately following that interview, we're hosting an AMA with Katie Wilson. Again, inside of our Discord server, back to back. So if there are any questions that you have for Katie, any burning hot questions, now there you can ask them. And then following that, we'll be doing phone banking, rallying the troops, and getting everybody involved. So of course, if you want to sign up for this, sign up at progress.win/Seattle. And that's not all. I've come on time and time again to rep our membership cards. I have some pretty big news for Progressive Victory. Following in the steps of Katie Wilson, of course, we want to make sure that we are being funded by a grassroots campaign by real people in this country. Right now, we are currently at 600 dues-paying members, and our goal is to get 700 by the end of August. So sign up. If you can't phone bank, that's fine. There are other ways to help the movement. Cough, cough, progress.win/member to get your membership card. Again, It's like the coolest thing ever. It's an instant sex magnet. You'll have everybody flocking to you. Progress.win/member. Sign up.
I figure getting to talk directly to Katie Wilson is probably a decent incentive to a lot of these folks, you know? Between the AMA and the interview that I'll be having with her. And yeah, happy to talk with her, by the way. I mean, that's got to prompt some folks. Really, really nice. I for the most part, you know, I haven't, I guess, taken much initiative to talk to people who were interested in seeing win in these elections because, I don't know, the interviewing is a very different skill than yapping on stream. But I mean, it's Seattle. I live here, and I like it a hell of a lot more than any other place I've ever lived in. So I'm genuinely quite invested in this outcome.
Oh yeah, and like this again goes without saying, but this will have a broad impact on the Democratic Party in general, right? We have been winning pretty hard as progressives this year, that I would argue. Just because we have a few wins doesn't mean that we stop. Like, we have to keep pushing, and this is another push to take one of the most progressive cities in America, already really progressive, and get like an actual progressive mayor. The power would be crazy, like, actually.
It definitely doesn't make the progressive movement across the country look very durable and very sincere, I suppose, for a city like Seattle to maintain its current leadership in the face of everything that's happening. Again, Los Angeles and New York City are both large, complicated cities with surprisingly diverse populations. But seriously, you take a look at Seattle, you take a look at its demographics and its voting record, it is ridiculous that we don't have like a Bernie Sanders type running the city. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And like every single one of our Democratic parties, there's like various different ones because of like how our political system structured, but every single one endorsed Katie Wilson. So this also shows the power of like getting involved in your local Democrats and how progressive the city is, the populace. And on the other hand, every single like major politician in the state endorsed Bruce Harrell. So it is really the people against the status quo Dems in this race.
Yeah. And they're all evil. The status quo Dems. So we, you know, we can be negatively polarized by their example.
Yeah.
I appreciate you both coming on.
To finally kick out these corporate evil Dems. And I appreciate you having us on.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is awesome.
I hope you all tune in for the interview and also the AMA. It'd be really, really cool if I could in any way be involved, if we could all in any way be involved with my city getting a good mayor for once. Yeah. Hopefully it goes well. I got to learn how to interview people again. It's been a good long while. Gonna have to write notes down on a card.
You have 3 days, just like Majora's Mask. You have 3 days to teach yourself these skills.
That's more time and effort than I've ever put into preparing for any stream. I think I'll be okay.
Oh, sounds about right. Also, that's me with my homework, so there you go. Thanks, Vosh. As always, it's a pleasure to be on. And for everybody listening, thank you. Just again, sign up at progress.win/Seattle. And if you want those sexy, sexy membership cards, progress.win/member.
That's progress.win, everyone.
Yeah, progress.win. All right. Thank you, Vosh.
Take care. I mean it, folks. I'm going to be cross with all of you. If she don't win, I'm going to hold you responsible. It's neck and neck. The polling is very close, so this isn't like a long shot at all. It is something we could legitimately tip the scales on. Ban everyone if she loses? Generational crash out. You know it, you love it. It's your boy Vosh asking you to go out and canvas again. Sorry, but turns out the world still needs fixing. This time it's my world, by which I mean the city of Seattle. You hear about Katie Wilson? No? What are you, a loser? You're not aware of the fact that she wants to Trump-proof Seattle? Provide abundant and affordable housing? She's a good egg, okay? Current mayor? Ain't. We want Katie Wilson to win. There's a primary on the 5th, August 5th. For those of you who don't know your dates well, that's coming up real soon. Less than a week. This is my city. I've lived in Seattle for a long time. I like this city a lot. I don't want it to continue to be run by a reactionary, centrist, do-nothing, oligarch-aligned mayor. You know where the links are. They're down the bottom, folks. Please, phone bank with PV. We're putting in the work for this one. Canvassing and phone banking, yes, but I'm going to have a conversation with Katie Wilson. Talk to her on stream. The idea, I understand, it is 2 p.m. PT on Sunday, the 3rd. Ask how she's doing, what does she like about Seattle, how she plans to run. She's a good egg. So please, for my sake, because I live here, all right? Let's try to make Seattle good again. I still think it's pretty good. I'd like to improve it. Can we improve it, please? Work with me here. Go click the link.